Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Softball Edition, and my guest for this week's show is none other than senior outfielder on the softball team here at Menlo College, Brooke Menesini. Brooke, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome. Let's start by getting to know you a little bit better. When it comes to Brooke Menesini, I've heard that everything is a competition. You name it, you're going to try to win it. Is there anything you won't try to win at?
I wish there was an answer for that, but no. It's just my natural habitat to make everything a competition. Sometimes I don't try to, and it just results in me being competitive. Even card games, I'll be like, okay, I don't want to be competitive today, and then I'll be playing with my teammates, and all of a sudden, I blink, and my competitiveness is out.
And you're winning?
No, not in the card games. I wish I could win the card games, but I think that's why it comes out more.
So what are you losing at then? What kind of card games are we talking about?
Well, recently, Malia has gotten this Exploding Kitties game, and I couldn't even explain to you how we play it. It's weird, and there's funny cards with it, but we have been hooked on this Exploding Kitties game.
What is it? I don't even know. Do I want to know? What happens?
You kind of have to play to. So if you're playing, and if you get an Exploding Kitten card, you're done. So. Okay,
so a kitten is not exploding.
No, you're physically, no kittens are exploding.
Okay, no kittens are harmed in the making of this episode. So you are the kitten, essentially.
No, they're just cards. You have a diffuse card to protect yourself.
Okay. But what I'm saying is you would act as the kitty, theoretically, and if you get the Exploding Kitty card, then you are done. You would explode.
In a way, yes.
Okay. So you shouldn't be here then, because you've exploded a few times, right?
Yes.
Okay. Digging back through your files from when you were a freshman and applying to Menlo College, I found, and we've talked about this before, that you had a liking for Ultimate Frisbee. Mm-hmm. My favorite thing here at Menlo College. Why did we never get you out there?
I always saw you guys practicing, but then I always had class, or anytime you guys had games, we had games at the same time. So physically, or with my schedule, I could never come out and play, but I always saw you guys hanging around and would have loved to come out once or twice, but just never worked with our schedules.
How would you rate your disc skills?
Probably not very good, because we've just done pickup games every once in a while. So, I'm not bad, but I'm not awesome at it. So, probably in between.
I would say you could come out to Ultimate Frisbee now, but unfortunately,
I know
the dream has passed, for lack of a better term. So it appears as if you are a lover of all sports. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite obscure sport that you really like?
So over my internship with Athena camps over the summer, the girls taught me a new game, which I've never heard of until this year, and it was called Gaga Ball. And so essentially it's in like an octagon, and there's like a kickball style ball and a whole bunch of people, and the only way you can get people out is you hit it once, and it has to hit them below the knee.
So it's like dodgeball, kickball, and MMA rolled into one sport.
Pretty much, just not as much fighting.
I don't know what sounds worse, Exploding Kittens or Gaga Ball. To me, they seem kind of very dangerous in their own respective ways. Again, no kittens were harmed in the making of this episode. Let's talk a little bit about the team now and try to get this thing back on track. The Oaks went up against some really tough competition this past weekend. Vanguard was ranked number 5 in the nation, and the Oaks forced a split in their doubleheader. What were your takeaways from not only how good Vanguard is, but how you guys played against them as well?
Definitely confidence is what would probably be the number one thing we took from it. Just getting to play a number 5 team, especially in our conference too, having that confidence to, hey, we can hang in with them. We are here. I think that was the biggest takeaway. But also that just like we could do it. Like, yeah, we had our ups and downs throughout the games, but we kind of helped to adjust in playing better teams, so we kind of know what to look for and how to play our game while they're playing their game at the same time.
For a team that's as good as pitching as Vanguard is, and they're one of the best in the entire nation, the Oaks are really able to kind of compete with them pitch for pitch and match them 0 for 0. How would you assess the way the pitchers did over the weekend?
I thought they did fantastic. It was definitely a pitcher battle along with a hitting battle, and without that pitcher battle, then neither team would have done as good as we did throughout the weekend. So it was very essential to have good pitching throughout the weekend.
And the effort by Larissa Martinez earning her pitcher of the week honors in the Golden State Athletic Conference. I know you're close with Brooke Shigematsu, being roommates and all that stuff, but what is it like hitting behind her in the lineup when she gets on a roll like she's been all season long?
It's fun. It's fun to hit behind her. It's fun to hit in front of her. Sometimes it can be a little intimidating because I was like, oh man, I gotta come up, behind Shiggy. But it's fun for the most part. And she kind of helps me get going. Like, okay, like just relax, have some fun. When she gets hyped up on the bases and then the dugout's being loud and hyped, it's fun to come back up next to her and keep the ball going.
Yeah, what do we say so often? Hitting is contagious.
Yes,
and
it
when
is.
she's hitting over 400 with 30 plus RBIs, you're hitting close to 400 now with like 23 RBIs or whatever your total is now. I mean, you two in the middle of the lineup.
Yeah.
That's darn good. And then 1 through 9 in the lineup too.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's hitting this year. And it's been a lot of fun to watch. And the doubleheader against San Diego Christian, the offense, back to it, really came to life after they were shut down a little bit against Vanguard. Malia Johnson, Caitlin Magana hitting home runs in that series as well. Is there anyone in this lineup that you would say is not a dangerous hitter?
No. I think we're all pretty dangerous, even our left-handed slappers. They can place the ball really well, wouldn't get on, and then they're quick on the bases. We have our good power hitters, and even like the freshmen have been so explosive, and it's just awesome that no matter what grade you are, no matter how old you are, no matter how long you've been in this, we have a pretty explosive lineup.
I like that you bring up the left-hand slappers. Even though Regina Juarez is not necessarily a true slapper, here, we'll give you some credit this time, Regina. We won't throw you under the bus. She's made a remarkable turnaround this year, getting regular reps at first base and hitting with a very high average. What do you can say about the work that she's put in this year?
Regina has really surprised me too, because I remember the first time I saw Regina hit, she was just this little left-handed girl coming up and she yanked one over the right field fence, and I was just blown away. And she's been doing really well this year, and she's made some key at-bats that we've needed, and she's helped get on and start rallies and keep us mentally in the game in the dugout. So she's been a really good key factor, especially with the left hand, not being a slapper. She's been pretty explosive. Yeah.
Now this weekend, of course, weather might screw up the weekend series against Hope International, but you guys do take on Hope. They're currently ranked number 20 in the nation. Both teams can certainly provide a lot of pop on the offensive side. So what kind of fireworks should we expect to see in that doubleheader?
I think we'll definitely see another pitching battle.
Really?
But even both teams, I think there's going to be a lot of hits. There's going to be a lot of even close home runs again, at the warning tracks. It's going to be a good, explosive another 2 games.
And hopefully Mother Nature complies, and hopefully you guys are able to go down there. We're filming this on Wednesday, late afternoon, and the Thursday doubleheader against Antelope Valley has already been postponed, so fingers are crossed. The Oaks will be able to go down to Fullerton safe and sound. All right, Brooke, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 off-the-wall questions. Give me your best answers. Question number 1. Which teammate could you beat in any competition, even Exploding Kitties, hands down?
Oh man, that one's a tough one. Probably Cassie. I don't know. Sometimes she'll just shy away from it, and I don't know. Probably Cassie. This one was tough.
I was gonna say shy away is probably the way that she would do it. Cassie, you do not look like someone who's very shy, but you are very shy, and so I could see that happening. I think though, I will say this. I'll take her side a little bit. I think it'd be a good fight.
Oh yeah, no, she could definitely put up a good fight. I've been trying to get her to fight back a little bit, and
how's that working?
It's okay. We have our ups and our downs.
A work in progress.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Now, question number 2: which teammate is the worst at ultimate frisbee?
We did have an ultimate frisbee competition against the soccer team last fall, but man, I don't know. I think Jordan Kennedy. She might be not the worst, but not the best at ultimate frisbee.
Throwing, catching, both?
Both.
So what would you say you excelled at then?
More throwing.
More throwing? Okay. Could always use some handlers. It's a valuable asset because everyone can catch it for the most part.
Yeah.
Except Jordan. Sorry, Jordan. And then question number 3. Which teammate is most likely to be an animal whisperer, and what animal are they whispering to?
That's the toughest question. Malia does have a pet bunny, so I would kind of lean towards Malia, just having more of a random animal as a pet. So I'd probably choose Malia, but even with Coach Hardy and her, her college degree and stuff, I could see her just loving the animal life and just going out and having that connection.
With watershed management.
Yeah.
Something that I learned quite a bit about a few years ago when I talked to her on the show. Now, I'm going to just bring this back up again. Regina, off the air, was a popular answer to this question. Why don't you explain yourself on that?
Getting me in trouble, Brian.
Yes, of course.
Last year with all the caterpillars, coming around and it being spring, fearless Regina would just pick up the caterpillars, as would none of us want to touch the caterpillars. And one game she had a little caterpillar farm in the dugout. So sorry, Regina, I had to throw you out there. But yeah, Regina was definitely in the running for that question.
I'm really disappointed that we have not seen those caterpillars this year.
I know. I think it's because the weather came in late.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of rainy and cold the later we are.
That's true. It's been raining nonstop for the past week or so, and we really haven't had a nice day for a doubleheader for you guys, which sucks because I'm not necessarily a fan of being out there when it's 50 degrees and I'm just sitting there and I'm not moving at all. You guys at least get to get up and move around in it, but still no caterpillars.
No.
I'm sad about that. Well, we got hopefully a couple more series left to try and turn that around. Hopefully the weather complies. Hopefully it's nice and sunshiny because April's right around the corner.
It really is.
All right, Brooke, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome, folks. The softball team is on the road. Again, hopefully weather will allow the Oaks to play down in Fullerton this weekend on Friday against 20th ranked Hope International. The doubleheader, as of now, is scheduled for 11:30 in the morning. Then the Oaks will have a quick-ish turnaround. They will play a Tuesday doubleheader at home in conference play against William Jessup University. That's Tuesday, the 27th of March, and it will start at 1 o'clock p.m. out at Wonderlic Field. We invite you to tune into next week's episode of Unrooted Softball Edition when Brooke Menesini will select the next interviewee by me, Brian Brownfield, right here on the show. Until then, we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.